Good morning. It's 4:59 a.m. and I got the best night's sleep last night that I've had in a long time. I don't even know what time I fell asleep because I laid down on the bed just for a short time while I was checking emails, just taking a little break when I came back in from the reunion meeting, and I fell asleep and woke up in the middle of the night, didn't even look at the clock, just turned out the lights and continued to sleep. So I think I might have gotten over 6 hours sleep, and for me that's a rarity. Although I was awake a good while this morning since 3. Anyway, a little after 3. Today I'm going to talk about reunion and making new friends. And yes, I am in New Jersey, and the truth is I don't even remember most of my former classmates, nor do they remember me, except for a handful. That's okay. We are all able to make new friends in our day and age because of the internet. Of course, it is still nice to talk face to face and share hugs. I don't have any profound message this morning to share because that's where I am. I got many interesting or had many interesting conversations last night, listening to the stories of some of the things that my former classmates have gone through and sharing some of the things that I've gone through. And it was a fun evening from about 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock or so. 7:30, 8 o'clock, I think I pulled out of there. And it was enjoyable. So that's actually introduction. There was a few conversations I had last night about what's going on in the world. And of course, those were my favorite conversations. And I had a conversation before the meeting with my brother again, and I did visit with him shortly, for an hour or so. And people's takes on what's happening are very different than mine for sure. When I mentioned to some of my classmates that I was interested in possibly going to Wall Street today, which I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. My nephew's getting married this afternoon, which I didn't even know till I got here. And my friend Bobby is having a viewing or something on a 40-minute drive from here. And I don't know if I'm going to go and support him there or not, or go to Wall Street. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but eyes rolled a couple of times that I mentioned that that's something that I'd like to do. Like, really? I mean, you're in favor of that? Yes, I'm very much in favor of what's happening on Wall Street. My brother pointed out to me that the unions have actually hired people to protest, and it's not a spontaneous protest if the unions are actually paying people for the protest. I find that not totally out of the realm of possibility, but it doesn't seem like that would be the case with most of the people that are protesting. Are they hiring tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even millions of people around the world that are protesting the way things have been and the corruption in our governments, the corruption in our financial system? Is that what they're doing? Who's paying them to revolt against the system? That doesn't make sense. I mean, the 99% of the humans that don't run the world need to have a voice. And the 1% have been running things for their own benefit for a long time. And it's time for change. Even my brother agrees that we've got to stop the corruption, although he believes human nature is basically bad. And that was part of our conversation. It didn't come up in any of the conversations, though, at the reunion last night, but it did with my brother. And let me just say that having done workshops since 1994 and watched people unmask in those workshops and become their authentic self, or actually not become, be their authentic self, I am absolutely convinced that humans are by nature loving, by nature compassionate. Are there exceptions? I'm sure there are. But I even believe that those exceptions, if you dig deep enough and you get under the pain and the anger and the frustration of being human, underneath, we are all compassionate, loving people. And that's why we're able to make friends. And sometimes we make new friends, and the friend we make is ourself. When we begin to see that underneath all the layers of our history, of our memories, when we get underneath all of that, we realize that we are infinite and eternal beings, that we are part of God and always have been, or whatever you want to call the divine essence, the divine spark. Underneath it all, we are part of something much bigger than ourselves, and it's a good thing. We don't see that by looking at the world, because the world, we've created all of these separation barriers to connecting. We don't have to do that anymore. We have the opportunity in this ninth wave to open up in ways that we've never opened up before. And the 10th wave, which will begin at the end of this month, on the 29th of October, and I'm just coining this, the 10th wave is a new world. And we can make it a new world if we choose it to be. The 9th wave opens the doors and gives us the opportunity. But the 10th wave is when we actually move into it. And that's what the end of 2011 and 2012 is going to be all about. It's restructuring our world so that everyone gets served and everyone's needs are met, so that there is once again, as if we remember it ever being, fairness and justice and truth. We have an opportunity to move into a world where the light shines and darkness is just a dance between the light and the dark, so that we have the contrast. I don't believe we're not going to have contrast. As I've said many times, it's not about eliminating the polarities. And somebody wrote in an email that I read this morning that they had looked at one of my previous videos from a long time ago. I don't remember which one now because I read quite a few emails this morning. But in any case, he said, I don't believe there's going to be any time or space in the new reality. That's a stretch for me. I can't comprehend that, because time and space to me is not an enemy, but it's a gift that we've given ourselves. This is a beautiful opportunity to live life in a dimensional reality that gives us the perception of individuality, even though we are all one, even though we all have the deep-seated love within us. We have the ability to see ourselves as individual and interacting in a dimension. And I like that. I mean, I don't think that that's something that needs to be eliminated, although I don't know what the alternative would be. I can't fathom from my viewpoint right now what that alternative might be. Maybe you can. And if you can, I'd like you to share it with me, although bear in mind that until I get back into my normal routine, I may not have time to respond to everything that comes across my path, because I am trying to connect with as many people as possible during this time away from home. Nevertheless, I would like to hear if you can tell me what you can envision a world without time and space might look like. That would be interesting. In fact, if you can, do a video response. And I'd be glad to watch it and put it up on, put it up online as one of the accepted responses. I don't think I've ever turned down. Well, maybe early on I might have turned down one or two video responses that I thought were pretty crass, and I would still, if I watched the video response, I would still have a tendency to, if it used a lot of vulgarity and it was overly critical or something like that, and name calling, I would probably reject it. Although I tend not to. I tend to be very liberal in what I allow in the way of discussion, because I think it's such a healthy thing, and that's part of making new friends. But the most important thing is the very word reunion. It's joining together something which had seemed to lose its connection. And as I just think about that word and ponder reunion, the last several years of my life especially, there's been a reunion of me with me at deeper levels of my being. And there's been reunion with people at levels that I'd never before experienced. I know myself better than I used to, and therefore I'm able to see into others more fully and accept people more fully. I can sense where they're coming from. I feel like I'm rambling, and I am, because as I said, I did not have a clear-cut message this morning. I meditated this morning, but not like I do at home. It's not my meditation environment. I just simply laid on the bed and thought about things and prayed for people and connected. But I didn't have a clear-cut message. So maybe the best thing for me to do is to pull the string and end this video. So thank you for listening. And I do understand that this isn't one of my better ones. And that's okay. It is where I am. I love you all. Have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.